Okay, so we have the layout completed. And now we're going to draw the walls. Where's the instruction? The instruction for the depth of the wall is in a general note on page 26. So there are some additional information that may not be shown here on a sketch that might be covered by notes. And those might be the freehand quick sketches and notes on your engineer's sketch. So the walls are 300. So let's all look at scale 1 to 100 and establish accuracy of that scale. Okay, we know how to do it. On our scale bar, we're looking at the smallest bar. You see 1M in your head, that's 1,000. How many divisions? And that 1M equals 1,000? 10, meaning each one is 100. Okay, so each bar is 100 and our wall is 300. So you need to measure 300 millimeters in 1 to 100 scale. So you will look for the 3 little bars. Okay, because this is the very important part of this exercise. We need to talk about that 300. So your general note on previous page, page number 26, says all walls are 300. And all of the foundation walls are offset by 300. So if you have I'm going to go high so I have lots of room to actually draw. Hopefully this is fitting. It's fitting. If we have 1M here, that's 1,000 in your lovely head. We have division in half, and then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 1,000 divided by 10, each bar is 100, so you need to measure 3. There will be lots of that measurement, okay? And students always impress me with their innovation. So after printing exercise 1 year, that was done before this exercise, I introduced this little gizmo. We're going to bring it closer to camera. It's called Lettering Guide. It comes with instructions, and I'm like you, I never read them, but some good students read it all. So they've actually read lots of interesting settings. If you turn this little circular part, you can do all kinds of patterns, and we will use those patterns for drawing text 3 millimeters and then millimeter and a half, 3 millimeters, millimeter and a half space between text. So you've got probably 2-3 weeks before we will need this for printing exercise. But students, when we got to this project, I instructed them that the lines here on the side, okay, the lines here, the holes here on the side in the plastic, they are spaced. So when you place this lettering guide against T-square and put very sharp pencil in each hole and just drag it, go next, drag it along the T-square, next, drag it along T-square, you will be getting effects like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the way this is done is you have a T-square placed against your board, and you have this little instrument laying like so, and you have these holes, and you will simply place the pencil here and drag it along to draw those lines. Okay, so now that you know this, 3 millimeters in 1 to 100 scale is exactly what you need for your drawing. That's 300 in 1 to 100 scale. You already know this. If we were to take 2 zeros out here, the whole bar is 10 millimeters. You need 3 of those bars to get 3 millimeters. Well, you've got these dots here. So listen what students did. All of the construction lines for walls, and I thought it was brilliant. So I've been introducing this because it's a great use of drafting tools. We have colors, so I'm going to use red because I used green, and green apparently is not showing to colorblind people, so we'll use red. What we have is you have your construction lines, so I'm going to work with the first building. You should have something like this to start with after today's class. Okay, after the first layout class, you should have lines that look like this. Now you know how to start and end your outline wall. So we're going to take now our pencil lead with H in it, and we're going to turn the pencil, press hard, and draw perfect outline of our building number 1. 1, 2, and actually to speed up the process, you would do what we did last week. You would go 1, then you would draw this one, then you would draw this one, and this one, all horizontals, and then you would turn around and use your set square to draw vertical, 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 vertical. So I will be evaluating, looking for these construction lines, not erased. And I will be then looking for perfect corners. If you have these constructions, you will most likely have perfect corners. Now you have this start. And if you can leave today with all 4 buildings outlined like this, we're doing good. And then next part of the exercise is to add these 300 walls. So the best thing to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with blue, is to take the lettering guide, place it against your T-square, and draw construction lines. Light line, and another light line. Because when you look at your drawing, we have 3 components to each wall, okay? We have wall, we have dotted line that represents a footing. Wall is 300 millimeters, and then the footing is 300 millimeters. And you don't know much about construction yet, but you know we don't place walls on just nothing. The weight is distributed through footings. So what you're actually sketching is 900 footing with a 300 wall on it, and this is 300, this is 300, and this is 300. 3 times 300 is 900. And then we're going to pour, ground is somewhere here, and then we're going to pour slab like this. So that's your construction 101. And I'm hatching it wrong, but I'm hatching it to emphasize the volume of the structure you draw. Wrong hatching. We'll talk about hatching some other time. But the reason why I'm showing this hatching is because part of your assignment is this type of hatching. And standard hatching is done on about 3 millimeter apart lines. So again, we will use lettering guide for it. So we've got a couple places where we can use this tool effectively. So what I have done is I drew 3 light construction lines that I will use to finish my lines. But what you need to do is take the construction lines all around your perimeter, because you need them everywhere. So I would draw all horizontal ones. I move my T-square, move my lettering guide, and the trick here is to align with one of the dots, the line that you already have, and then place your pencil in the dot above and draw light construction line. One above, 2 below. Go to the next. Here you do all of it in the same shot. You probably will draw light one like this, and then 2 below. They need to extend further for the lines that are on the outside. Okay, then we're going to turn our lettering guide and place it against your set square to get the lines again, 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters in twice. 3 millimeters in twice, once. When you have all of these light construction lines, it will feel very messy. So that's where line weights are going to come into play. And I would suggest that now you double check that you have one on the outside that didn't make mistakes, and double check now whether you have actually got the equal spacing. Just like we did last week, the objective was that the squares were repeated with the same offset. And as a drafter, you had to make adjustments to make it look so. Here, you are going to have multiples of imperfections. You're going to have slightly different offsets. If you want perfection, now you have to finish the drawing making adjustments. That's why those light construction lines are light, because you as a drafter can now make adjustments. You see how much you are off. So I would suggest that if I was doing this drawing to speed up the process, I would draw all the horizontals and then all verticals again. That's how experienced drafter would do it. But for the first one, maybe you want to take it one step at a time. You have the outside line. Connect all of the dark lines so you're not confused. You have to have all these construction lines to again know precisely where to start and finish. And you have to be very careful and make sure that you're connecting all the lines correctly. So I'm doing this the way many of you will do it, just so you have slightly better picture of what is it actually that you're drawing. So on the first one, maybe we'll do it this way. Then the next part of the exercise becomes a little bit more difficult because the next line cannot be as dark as the object line that we just drew. The exercise is about drawing walls. The dotted lines that you see on your drawing represent footings that are below the grade. They're not seen, but they need to be shown in dimension and plan and section, okay? So they are not only hidden lines, meaning you have to break them, but they're also medium weight. So now you want to look at what you've accomplished. Don't be afraid to press really hard and finish this dark. This is going to be your darkest line. The next exercise is not to go that dark. Sharpen your pencil, and here is the trick. You want to have the start and end points, and you will draw about 3 millimeter line with 1 millimeter space in between. 3 millimeter line, 1 space in between. 3 millimeter, 1 space. 3, 1 space, 3, 1 space. Are we going to measure it all? If I'm paying you 15, 11, even minimum wage, I don't want you to measure 3, 1, 3, 1. You will have to learn how to do it neatly and nicely by eye. So it will happen. That's why we're doing so much of it. About 3 millimeters length, about 1 millimeter space in between. About. Don't measure it. Some students, again, invented straight line and then used those little dots on your erasing sheet to create them. Perfect. Whichever way you want to get it done, the final effect needs to be this. And not this. Okay? Not this. Uniformity in hand drafting is the key. So hidden lines is a very big part of this exercise. So that will be the next thing I will be looking at. How well you created the hidden lines. You have the start and end because you have all the construction lines. And I want to do hidden line up top and then hidden line for the inside. Then you can turn your T-square around and go the way around. The speedy process, ladies and gentlemen, will be to draw all horizontals first, all vertical construction lines second, all horizontal lines again. So when I do get to draw this exercise live, I would draw on the first construction line hidden line, then I would draw dark line, another dark line, and then hidden line again. Horizontals, then turn around to verticals. But you might not be there yet. You may want to go on the first one, the way we did here, go around, get comfortable with it, and then find your ways to speed up the process. Once we have this, then we have hatching and dimensioning, okay? And that will be the next instruction. I don't think we went past 10 minutes yet, so hang in there, guys.